Early in its invasion of Ukraine, when the world turned a collective cold shoulder to it, Russia claimed that the Russian-Chinese partnership was one of no limits. However, China soon clarified that this relationship did have its boundaries, distancing itself from Russia's actions. With its only real friends being Iran and North Korea, if Russia wants to win the war in Ukraine, it desperately needs China's support. But China has other plans, and it would like nothing better than if Russia lost this war. When sanctions started, Russia's economy looked strong because of high energy sales. But then, the introduction of price caps on Russian energy exports by Western nations soon undermined this key revenue stream. Also, when Russia sold oil to India, India paid in rupees, not rubles. This left Russia with a surplus of a currency with limited utility in global trade. Simultaneously, sanctions severely impacted Russia's military capabilities, particularly in advanced weapons manufacturing. The ban on semiconductor sales has been particularly devastating, forcing Russia to source components from consumer electronics and resort to unfavorable deals for military equipment. China's role in all this is quite complex because, on one hand, China increased its import of Russian energy, sidestepping Western sanctions and facilitating Russia's use of its financial systems for certain transactions. On the other, it discreetly supplied Russia with dual-use technology like drones and chips. However, despite these actions, it seems that China's support is strategically measured, primarily focusing on its own interests rather than wholeheartedly supporting Russia. This is evident from the fact that most transactions between Russia and China are conducted in Chinese yuan. While the yuan is becoming more common in global trade, it still doesn't match the influence of the dollar or euro. As a result, Russia finds itself holding a surplus of yuan. But then this begs the question, why does China want Russia to lose? You see, the war in Ukraine has really messed up the global markets, especially impacting key commodities like oil and grain, which are super important to China. And this is a huge deal because China prioritizes stability and economic growth over everything else. Furthermore, the Belt and Road Initiative is kind of in a tough spot because of all the chaos happening in Eurasia. But if Russia were to lose, it might actually calm things down, and that would be really good for China's economic plans in the long run. Lastly, the main reason why China wants Russia to lose is to gain power and control in areas such as Russian Manchuria and the Russian Far East. Historically, parts of what is now the Russian Far East and Russian Manchuria were once under Chinese control. Over the centuries, these areas have been a point of contention and have changed hands due to various treaties and conflicts. These regions are rich in natural resources like timber, minerals, and possibly oil and gas reserves, making them economically valuable. Additionally, their strategic location in Northeast Asia adds to their geopolitical importance. As Russia becomes increasingly dependent on China due to Western sanctions, it is gradually losing its grip on these regions. Chinese investments are significantly altering the landscape, and the increasing Chinese population there suggests a shift in influence, potentially leading to Chinese dominance in these territories. Ultimately, China's goal aim is to become the dominant global power, and a defeated Russia would align perfectly with this objective. Tap that like button if you enjoyed the episode and follow us for more interesting updates on global politics.